6:22 p.m. Welcome to the San Diego Riverside Charter School Board meeting for July 2025. It's now July 10th, 2025, and I'll call the meeting to order at 6:23 p.m. Start with roll call. David Toledo.
Present.
Okay, LaDonna Sando.
Present.
Patrick Segura.
Present.
Margie Carrell, present. And Susan Baca, is she on? I did text her and let her know. I guess she's absent. And then Kiani Upshaw Toya. And I believe she's absent also. All right. So we do have a quorum. And we'll go ahead. And the next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. So if everyone can take a look at the agenda, it was actually sent to us as a draft back about a week ago before it got posted. I haven't seen the final one. I think it was in draft form when we got it. It said, does anybody want to add anything to this agenda? And so that's the one that I'm looking at. If you all look at that agenda and see if there's anything that you want to change on this agenda, or if you can approve this agenda and second it to move forward. I just need a motion and a second from a board member. I'm trying to see. It was on June, let me see here. Oh, July 3rd that the agenda was sent to us, if you look in your emails.
This is Patrick. I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. We have a motion to move to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, LaDonna Sando seconded. Let's go around and see if everybody agrees. David, do you agree?
I approve.
Okay, and RG, I approve. And LaDonna, do you approve?
Yes.
Yes, and Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, so motion carried. And the next item on the agenda is to vote on the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was held on June 18th, 2025. And those were sent to us this afternoon. If everyone got to take a look at those and see if there's anything that needs to be added or changed or corrected on those meeting minutes. If not, if I can have a motion and a second to approve those meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the June minutes.
Okay, so LaDonna Sando made a motion to approve the June 18, 2025 meeting minutes. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, David Toledo seconded. So we'll go around and see if everyone agrees. So Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, and this is Margie, I agree. David, do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, and LaDonna, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, the motion carries. All right, and the next item on the agenda is public comment. So if anyone has any public comments, they can go ahead and make their comment at this time. The comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person, and there's be no action taken on them, no response. We just listen to the public comment. So if anybody has any public comment, you can do so now. Okay, with that, it doesn't look like we have any public comments for this meeting, so we'll go ahead and go on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Finance Committee report. So with that, I believe Greg is with us, and Angie, and Aaron, right? So Finance Committee report, we'll go ahead and start with the Business Manager's report. So go ahead, K-12.
Thank you very much. Angie and I are in attendance, and we'll get to Starting this report here. Sure. All right, can everyone see this just fine?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. So for this meeting, there are no bars to review for approval. We'll go over our June activities. We have spent within our budget for our funds to end off the year. And we've made some we have spent a little bit less on some funds this month than the previous month, like our food services, our SB9 local, making sure that we end the year on a strong note, spending down our budgets as we go along. With our revenue, we are also keeping within our budget for a lot of our funds. As we will see here shortly, we have received a number of our requests for reimbursements, our SCG, and more to capture within the year. We will also have more requests for reimbursements that are pending upon this month's submission of expenses. For the month of June, we have ended off spending less than we have for June of the previous 2 years, and we've kept our spending consistent across the 58 student count. Keeping consistent across the year, as has been key month by month, we keep our investment largely within the classroom and supporting our teachers, our educational assistants, while also making sure that the entire staff remains happy. We also have minimal changes in the certain things that get spent on across the months, as well as the different areas of practice that those expenses occur, whether in the classroom, in the kitchen, or in administration. We've ended off at a higher monthly cash balance this year than the previous year, as well as liquidity, so we are in good shape to make sure our immediate bills are paid. I have given some notes for all the unusual activities for this month compared to the other months. So we've had some field trip reimbursements for Mr. Jodan Lovato. We've had IEP trainings as well as cafeteria door repair. TalkPath and K-12 accounting ended up on one check. And then our lease payment for the fiscal year also occurred after we got our award letter and approval for FY25 lease assistance. Down at the bottom, you'll see that we have completed our summer payroll liabilities and a couple of our quarterly liabilities. We've had summer payrolls run through the month of July and one part of August. So we got those completed and accrued. And the rest of the check report is just all that in detail. One thing to highlight for Amazon on June 9th is, one sec while I get there. Pardon me. There were some small supplies that were paid off, from a graduation decoration to a small piece of decor for supplies. Any questions about anything I've covered so far? Anything anybody want to look at from this checklisting?
Greg, this is Margie. I just have one question. So if you could let us know if we have any money that could be in jeopardy, like of use or lose. Well, we should have used it by June 30th, but if we lost any money on use or lose that we couldn't or didn't spend.
To my knowledge and under my management, we have spent down our special revenue funds that had that 6:30 deadline.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, we make sure
Phew.
to keep a pretty tight watch on that throughout the year.
I appreciate you for that, because I know there's been years past that we've lost money because somebody didn't keep track of it. But since we've had K-12, thank you for watching out for us. Yes.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. Any others? Any from the rest of the board? Alrighty. If anyone wants me to shed some more light on the nitty-gritty of the details here, feel free to contact me at any time.
Okay, we'll look it over. If we have anything else, and we'll probably give you a call, because I know we've got the business manager's report, but I don't have it pulled up right now. And since I'm on the phone, I can't see your sharing your screen on Zoom, but I'm pretty sure when I looked at it, everything looked okay. But does anybody have any questions to ask Greg about the business manager's report? Okay, like Greg said before, we don't have any bars this meeting, but we do have to approve some bars before school starts, or as soon as possible. Is that correct, Greg?
My apologies. One more time.
We don't have any bars to approve tonight, but I believe that something was said that there are bars that need to be approved before school starts or approved as soon as possible. Is that correct?
In the near future, yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we will have to schedule a special meeting for that, but we can work on that later. But if there's no questions for the business manager, then we can go on the meeting.
Oh.
Well, we have to make a motion to accept you're still going on, aren't you, Greg?
Yeah, I just stopped at a section about the expenses.
Okay.
I'll cover the
keep
revenue
going on. Okay, go ahead.
real quick.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So yeah, account summary report. I will have a different way of displaying this information in the near future to show what I would like to show as far as our balances at the fund and function level. That one PD watches for often every quarter when we do our cash reports, making sure that we remain positive and making maintenance where needed. Now, for our revenues, I just wanted to highlight these in detail. This text is unfortunately pretty small. We got our SEG. We got reimbursements for 6 different funds. This also includes our Hispanic Ed mini grant that we had received earlier. We spent that down to its entirety, got that money back. Our state tax distribution, as well as our SB9 state match. If anyone's unfamiliar with that one, the state match is the state's contribution towards the Public School Capital Improvement Act for the entirety of the contribution that they have available. And then finally, our bank reconciliation, tying out to a difference of 0, making sure that we are completing our reconciliations thoroughly. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions on the bank reconciliation or anything that Greg said so far? No, if not, you can go ahead and move on.
And that concludes the preliminary presentation that I have. If any more questions arise, I will be here.
You're fast. Okay, so we just need a motion from the board and a second to approve the bank reconciliation and the cash disbursements for this month. Anybody from the board
Patrick, I
can make
make
a
a motion
motion
to approve.
Okay, Patrick made a motion to approve the bank reconciliation and cash disbursements. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Hey, LaDonna Sando second. So we'll go ahead and see if everyone's approved. David, do you approve?
I approve.
Hey, Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
And LaDonna, do you approve?
Yes, I agree.
And this is Margie, and I approve. So thank you, Greg, for that, and thank you for staying on top of all of our SEG and reimbursements for us. And that makes me feel good to know that we're getting our reimbursements back. And as always, the bank reconciliation balances, so that also makes us feel good. But thank you, and then we'll do the meeting. We'll let you know when we're going to do the meeting to approve those bars that we have out there. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you. Angie
Thank you.
All right.
has worked hard with this as well.
Angie, we appreciate you as always. Good to
Thank you.
talk
Anyone
to
can
you.
also call me too with any questions, but I'm just helping Greg. But yes, anyone can still call and ask, and I still help out.
Okay. And is Aaron still going to be with us too?
Yes, he's the assistant now, though. So it's Greg and
Okay.
I as the business managers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if one of you are absent, then Aaron would step in, right?
Yes, but usually if Greg can't do a board, then I would do the board.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are here, and we do appreciate you very much.
No
Awesome.
problem.
So I pulled this up here. So we don't have any cash disbursements. We're good on that, right? We just kept that on there in case. Angie, Greg,
Say that again.
we don't have any need for approval for cash disbursements and bars right now, then, right?
We
Yes,
got the
you do.
approval for cash
Oh,
disbursement.
okay. Okay.
Yes, still it's for the June cash disbursements, but
That's
there are
right.
no bars.
Okay, well, we finished the finance committee report and the business manager's report, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And
Wait,
the
but I
next,
think Greg does need to, you guys do need to approve the cash disbursements, right, Greg?
we did the cash disbursements and the bank reconciliation
Oh,
together.
sorry.
Patrick did an approval and LaDonna seconded it. And then we went
Oh.
around and see if everyone approved. But is it okay if we lump them together like that?
Yeah, whoever's running the board meeting minutes would just lump them together. That should be okay.
Okay, because I said, can I have a motion to accept the cash disbursements and the bank reconciliation? So that's how it was said, but we can separate it if you want to.
It's fine for right now. The only problem would be if someone says no to one of them. But if everyone
Oh, I
is
see.
fine with both, then you can both approve them together.
Okay, I see. All right, so that's it for the finance committee report and the business manager's report. And the next item on the agenda, item number 6, is action items. And we'll just Jordan, if you could help me go ahead and go down this item, this part of the agenda and see make sure everything is checked off of here. There's a few things we probably need to still approve on this part.
Sure, absolutely. So you already did the cash disbursements. There's no bars. So the next one is the approval of Idea B application, 2526.
Okay, so on that one, I believe that you told us about like when you sent that in and we received it, but can you enlighten us again about that item?
I can
The
do that if
IDE.
you want, Jordan.
Okay, good.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Andy. Yes.
So basically, the fund Idea B, which is special education, just wants the board approval to be that they know that what we submitted the grant for. And every year we submit the grant to pay for the special ed teacher at the school. It's not enough to pay for their full salary, but partial of it. So the approval of the application would be, yes, the board agrees for us to use the Idea B money that we receive for special ed for our special ed teacher.
I get it. Do you know what the amount is of that, or does it like vary depending on the number of students that we have in special ed, or how does that work?
It varies every year based off of how many students you have. And for this year, it is $14,513.
Okay,
It's
that's
based
great.
off of the students we had last year that were in special ed, off of 80 and 120-day average.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're always behind a year. So we get money,
Mhm.
we get funding for Idea B based off of numbers we had last year. And then if we get more special ed this year, we'll get more funding next year for it.
Okay, I see. All right, so we'll call for an approval of the IDEA-B application for the 2025-2026 school year. And what this is, like Angie explained, it's for the special approval of the application and to use the funds on this with the special education teacher. Like she said, it doesn't fund the whole teacher's salary, but that $14,513 will go toward her salary. So I just need a motion from the board to accept this and approve the IDEA-B application for the 2025-2026 school year.
I'll go ahead and approve the IDEA application.
Okay, so LaDonna Gando made a motion to approve the special ed IDEA-B application for the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, David Toledo second it. We'll go around and see if everyone is agrees. Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, and this is Margie, and I agree. LaDonna, do you agree? So there.
Yes.
LaDonna, are you okay? And David, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the 2025-2026 employee staff handbook. So, Jordan, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull it up really quickly. We can go through this. Not much has changed. This is the handbook that you previously should have approved, but because I wasn't here, I wanted to make sure that we were making sure that we're taking care of all our business going to this following school year. And so I'm gonna share the screen real quick. And again, there's not any changes. I'm just gonna scroll up and talk about some of the bullet points that we have here. Because this is a 31-page document. Everything covers everything from equal opportunity employers to ADA. Then we get down to different policies that you have, including whistleblower policy, personnel evaluations, employee technology, acceptable use policy, drug-free, tobacco-free, tutoring advising for pay policy, which just basically means that teachers cannot do private agreements and receive pay for tutoring, or advertise us as within that school year. Let's see here. It covers background check policies, policies and procedures that go along with that. ethical and misconduct investigations, which include harassment, retaliation, mentorship programs. Let's see here, employee complaint procedures. Again, I'm going to go through this really quick. Eligibility, school volunteers, absences and lateness, wages and salaries, salary increases. We may need to do a couple of these changes. I'll get with the business offices, and if we need to, I'll just go ahead and propose those changes in August. That shouldn't be a problem. But I think we covered everything here. Compensatory time, overtime pay, records of time. And I like that. You saw that, right, Angie? Just so you guys know, overtime paid, no overtime paid.
Mhm. Right. That helps us
Performing.
out a lot. Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I
Let's
approve.
see here. Annual staff trainings, employee standards and conduct policy, dress code, no tolerance for harassment and discrimination. Um, let's see, intellectual property policy, basics for conduct and relationship discipline, a related discipline, sorry, discipline process, grievance, procedural steps, termination, discharge. Let's see here. Trying to get back here. Returning property back to the school, phasing out and elimination of positions, which is just the Reduction in Force Act. Administrative leave. Oh gosh. Reporting safety issues, worker compensation, weapons, violence in the workplace, safety common sense, parking benefits, group insurance, life insurance, leveled benefits, sick leave. We might at one point, at some point in the school year, want to revisit sick leave and see if it's worth
Mm-hmm.
actually adding a sick bank in the event that somebody expends their sick leave. This was an experience that I had at the previous school,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
somebody had to take off like 3 or 4 months, and of course they only had a certain amount of time that they had, and but other folks could donate their leave. So at some point we might want
Right.
to just review that in the next few months. Um, extended leave policy, unpaid medical, return from medical leave, military reserve. Oh my goodness. SDRCS faculty procedures process, requisition and purchase orders, which I think is good for them to know. And then other duties assigned. That's pretty much, yeah. Basically, the last one says that I have the reserve the right to assign employees additional tasks and responsibilities as needed.
That's good to know. So I don't believe that the board has actually approved a current employee staff handbook recently. So it's good that we're doing this. Now, this employee staff handbook that you're going over the 31 pages, did you get that, the one that was already in place and sent to you, and you're just like revamping it for the 2025-2026 school year? Or was
Correct.
it one that you already made up, or
No,
how
that
did you come across it?
I didn't see the need to completely start from scratch. This covers everything.
Okay,
And again, my other
yeah,
intention was that I figured that this might have been, it sounds like it wasn't, but it might have been familiar to you all prior.
oh,
But there's just some minor things in here that we need to go over. Like, for example, the pay periods. I know me and Angie were talking about that today. I want to make sure that that
right.
aligns. But what we can do is the board can go ahead and accept or approve this as drafted, pending any necessary
Mm-hmm.
changes that I might bring to the board in August.
That sounds great, because like you said, we can accept the employee staff handbook, but, and then say, permit it, we may have to make changes before the school year starts, just
Sure.
to, once we get a copy of it, look it over and all that, we might see something that stands out that we know that has to be added or changed or corrected before school starts. So, another thing is, I'm really glad, like Angie, I talked to Angie a few days ago about teachers' salaries being on a 12-month period of time, because that's how most teachers are. So they don't go without money for like 2 or 3 months during the summer. So she was telling me that, like you were talking about salaries and all in this handbook, that, and no overtime, that our teachers who are our full-time or our teachers on the payroll, full-time, now substitutes are all, they will get paid, and she will have it so that their money is dispersed over a 12-month period of time. And I think that really helps us out a lot. So especially
Correct.
the teachers who aren't like scrambling to look for a job in the summer. So I was glad about
That's what
that too.
I've been on the phone with Jodan like almost all day on getting all the contracts ready for everyone. So yes, they
Oh,
will get
wow.
continuous pay, year round, equal payments for the 12 months, so they don't have to worry about when they're not out, working during the winter breaks, spring break, or summer.
Thank you. That, I just wanted the board to hear that and know that, because I've gotten some phone calls from some teachers that says, hey, do you know anywhere I can go get a job during the summer? Stuff like that. And so, you know, do you have any place that's hiring? Do you know anybody that's hiring, because I don't have any money during the summer? So I just think that's such a good thing. At least they have consistent income coming in if they're salaried employees. And salaried employees have to do work, even if it's after 3:30 p.m. at home or something. They don't get any more pay for it. They're just finishing up their work, but they get the same salary. So to let everybody know that also.
Over time, just so the board knows, they may see a little bit of I hate saying a reduction, but they're going to see a little bit less, because that's going to be compensated through paying through the summer. And so,
Yeah.
you know, their paychecks might not look like what they looked like last year for the few employees that were looking to move to a salary, but like you said, at least they have some kind of assurance that they're going to be able to receive that paycheck on those dates through the summer.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. So that's the approval of the draft of the 2025-2026 employee slash staff handbook. I just need a motion from the board and a second to approve this pending changes before school starts. Anybody on the board can make them.
This is Patrick. I move to approve.
Okay, Patrick moves to approve the employee staff handbook. Do I have a second?
I second it.
David seconded. So we'll go around and see if we agree. LaDonna, do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, and this is Margie. I agree. Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, and David, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so motion carried for that, pending any changes that we might need to correct before school starts. Okay, the
Awesome.
next item on the agenda. Go ahead.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate that. The next one is going to be the parent-student handbook. So I do have it up on my screen. Again, this was what was placed. This was what has been in place now for, I think, about 2 years. I went through this because I feel like the parent-student handbook is really critical. It's our reference in the event that a parent has a disagreement or something happens with a student. We pull this out and we make the reference on it. My last revision was July the 2nd on this. And it's pretty much the same that we've had in here. I'm going to just kind of go through again some of the items that we're covering here. And then I actually highlighted the items that I'm going to go ahead and pull out, and I'll give you the justification for that. So there's the introduction, talking about our charter school goals, our objectives, everything from accreditation to admissions to athletics. Attendance. The reason why I have this highlighted right now is I'm currently working on schedules for the school. The first schedule, the Monday through Thursday, I think that's pretty much going to be set, and we shouldn't have an issue with that. Some things that'll be tweaking are somewhere's within that lunchtime. But I also need to get some teacher buy-in as well as our lunch folks to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I want to make sure that I look at this whenever we come back for teacher in service, and I'll make sure that this is presented and accurate. The schedule for Friday is also going to look different because this one has a 12:15 dismissal, and our dismissal this year on Fridays is going to be 2:00. So these are just items that I need to change. That's why I've highlighted them in purple. Let's see
Okay,
here.
so you mean the 2025-2026 school year we go to school Monday through Thursday, like 7:45 a.m. to 3:30. But on Fridays, we go in from 7:45 till 2 p.m.
Yeah, essentially the school day, because they have to count the instructional hours. We don't get to count the breakfast as that. Really, our instructional day is 8 o'clock to 3:30, and then on Friday it's going to be 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
Okay, 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Okay.
Mhm. Which is a 15-minute addition to last year. Last year it was 1:45, but there were some changes to the minutes and hours required to meet what the PED put forth. And so by doing these small little tweaks, I think we're good.
And this keeps us in compliance for the number of days that we had signed up for our school year, right?
Correct. The calendar has us at, gosh, I have to reference it. Was it
190
194? 193?
Right, 92 or something like that.
192,
Yeah.
yes. Sorry, I had it on the side.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
good. All right.
we're also addressing tardies, absences, doctor appointments, early dismissal, incentives, attendance definitions are in here, attendance procedures are in here, makeup of work that they've missed. We have kind of a matrix of how many absences. Some of this might change. We're going to be attending an attendance conference in September. And that's something that Harold Russell will be going with, because he's going to be kind of our attendance liaison. And so, yeah, we want to see if there's any changes that the state has in August. So if there are, we'll make sure that this portion of the handbook aligns with that. Attendance improvement plans. This will be stuff that we can get a little bit of help on at that conference. To not just make sure that we're in compliance, but really to make sure that we're serving our students to the best of our ability. School actions for poor attendance. We have we have a pregnant and parenting student there portion just in case. 2 excuses and absences. Awards. So there's this thing here that it sounds like the school had in the past, which was called PACs. I did get to talk to the teachers about this, and only one
Yeah.
teacher was on board with this. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
familiar.
hated that. The board hated PACs. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar with PACs, but what it sounded like was
Mhm.
only one teacher wanted it. So
Mhm.
these highlighted areas are me taking PACs out of this. And if it's something, what I'm understanding is this some kind of PBIS, positive enforcement for behaviors. We've already kind of created our own, and we can continue to build upon that, or we can look for other items that are out there. But it's not worth
Well,
doing if not everybody wants to do it.
not Mr. Archuleta, but the principal prior to that, it's Mr. Thompson. He spent $20,000 of the school money to get on a program because he didn't like PACs either. And when we expressed that we didn't like it, he actually went to this other, it's kind of like, the Stephen Covey 7 Habits of,
I see the books in there.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't remember the name of it, but it was cost us $20,000. He spent it that year. He started in last year, 2023, I think it was. He left in December of 2023. That money had been spent. He went to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where that program was from. And he actually attended some conference there on how to run it. I think we got the books. I don't think that program was ever implemented, talked about. There was a couple of teachers that he so-called like put in charge of it that was supposed to, he got them the information that was supposed to teach the other teachers about it. So if we've already spent that money, and I don't know if that was the initial startup cost, and then they, we're still in it and they're still sending us material. I'm not exactly sure about that, but if we're still in that and we haven't really given it a chance and we spent that much money already, maybe that's something that we can try to revamp and continue on with that. But if it's going to cost us another $20,000, then we can move on to something else,
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think we can create something in-house. We're just not to the full capacity that I think this would be beneficial within. So I'm glad that you guys support this. So that's why I'm highlighting these. I'm taking these out. So any mentions of PACs, this PACs good behavior game, kernels, I'm taking all that stuff out of there. I don't think it's worth our while.
Tax worked from K through 3. I think after the 3rd grade, the kids were too mature for it to work properly the way they wanted it to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look around and see if there's something, but I think we have some better how would I say, foundations for implementing something that maybe we can create ourselves.
Okay, that's good. And also a truancy, is there something that the parents know about truancy, and is there a truancy clause in this parent-student handbook that knows if they miss so many days in the 192 days that, there's consequences about it? And
Yes, absolutely.
because we had a truant, our school was linked with social services from the Pueblo. And if we had a truancy issue, we can call the counselors at social services to go to the house and talk to the parents, the students, and all that, because the Pueblo was really, on board with not having any truancy at the schools and all. Well, the one year, about a year and a half ago, right after COVID, I contacted social services because I remember that's how they used to do it. And they said, we don't do that anymore, but we'll send you a form that you guys can do it on your own. And they sent a form that was from 2005 on truancy. So I'm like, no, we're not going to use that. So
Yeah, we have
there is something.
tardies. We have a tardies here, tier 1, tier 2, and I don't want to take any credit for this. I feel like it's in alignment with Walatoa because I know Valerie Shaw is the one that put this together, and so I'm expecting this to be fairly aligned with what Walatoa is doing.
Okay, that's good then. As long as the parents know about it, then I'm happy with that. Yes.
Sure, absolutely. So we have awards, we have bullying, harassment, hazing, definitions of those, bus conduct in the event that we get a bus, which we're gonna try really hard and try to figure out where we can get some funding. We have guides for like the first offense, the second offense, the third offense. I'd like to try to change some of this stuff. This is more applicable to the bus, the way that I'm reading it. But cancellations of school, there's care for books and property, cell phones and other electronic devices. I did add cell phones should never be used in the school. I'm going to be going off of what the state implemented, which is they're just saying that we need to all have a cell phone and other electronic device policy. What I'm going to be requesting, and we'll send this out to parents in the first week of school, we are going to be ordering a giant case that can hold over 60 phones, and we're just going to ask that students turn in their phones to the front office when they arrive at school.
Okay, and is that something like Walatoa has also right now?
I'm not sure what Walatoa has.
Because they had offered, like when we were collaborating them at the beginning of last year, they had offered to buy us something like that because they had one and we never got it. I don't think so. That's why the collaboration really never worked. But yes, if we get that, the only thing, and this has happened in the past that you have to watch out for and all that, is that the kids will bring in old dead phones and they'll turn those in and they'll keep their regular working phones with them on their person.
And in the event, and it sounds like we've got a pretty good one here. In the event that that something like that happens, there's I mean, it says here students may use their phones before school and immediately after outside. Students must turn phones off. If a student has his or her phone out when phones are not allowed, the teacher member will ask for the phone and collect that phone until the end of the day. If a student has hidden a phone and is caught using it in classroom, teacher and staff member will ask for the phone, take it to the office. Students, parents, or guardians will now be required to come to the school and retrieve the phone. We didn't go too far beyond that. I haven't had too many issues with this with where I was at. But if they do, we can come back and revisit this. And what I would propose is first time they're caught with a phone, we take it away, we give it to them at the end of the day. Second time they get caught with a phone, parents have to pick it up. And third time they get caught with a phone, it can stay with the school until the end of the school year.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
So, and I think that's worked pretty well. We embarked on those dumb yonder pouches. What a waste of money. I think it works in certain schools if you build that culture. But if you're clever like me and some of my students, you realize that they're the same magnets that the department stores use on their clothing
Oh,
tags.
yeah.
I'm not saying that we're doing
Yeah.
anything illegal. I'm not. But
Yeah.
if you're smart enough, you can use a neodymium magnet and you can pull those
Yeah.
apart with any damage. Or if you're one of those rambunctious students, you can just rip those things apart. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
They're
it
not
just
that
became more
sturdy.
of a hassle.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
true.
Change of contact information, conferences, dances, detentions, disciplinary action, dress codes for students, emergencies, expulsions, FERPA, field trips, food and drinks, food services, freedom of expression and assembly, grading report cards, progress reports. The grading scales are all there. Valedictorian and salutatorian status that are placed here. Procedures for changing students' grades, gum, seeds, gun-free schools, hall passes, hearing for due process, honor roll. Let's see here, hours. So I think I've changed that one already. So that one should be pretty fairly accurate. Long-term suspensions or expulsions with disabilities, lost items, non-discrimination, off-limit areas, parent grievances. Parent volunteers, again, there's a whole thing outlining the PACS school. We're taking all that out. Pets,
Good.
pictures, promotions and retention, recess, school-sponsored events, searches of students and their belongings. Section 504, disciplinary considerations, supporting students with disabilities, sexual harassment, special education compliant resolution process, suspension, technology, acceptable use policy, and then our Title IV violations. And that's what we have. Oh, sorry. And then we have our code of conduct, which addresses everything from protection of property, alcohol, drug, tobacco products, weapon, firearm possession, gang activity. There's a bunch of stuff talking about the actions and the levels taken.
Mhm.
I think this really fell in line with what we do restoratively. So I, again, didn't have to change too much. Discipline responses, teacher managed, classroom support, parent conduct, student documentation. There's the levels for level 1, level 2, and level 3. And let me see here, disciplinary. So it just level 4, it just kind of explains where they're at within this. Everything from minor to severe infractions. And there's a nice a grid there that you can, a matrix that you can look at on how we define certain things, anything from horseplay to inappropriate technology to dishonesty, soliciting and selling, safety and well-being, so battery, assault, aggravate. I felt like this was very, very thorough. And it falls in line with what I like to do for the restorative process. So I think this is really well written. Latency and theft, arson, alcohol and drugs. So it just kind of outlines each one and what those punishments or consequences might be. And then there's the last part is the acknowledgement form, which is the students' rights and responsibilities. Again, we have to respect that students do have rights and the parents do have rights. I've always been about that. And I think that's what's helped me in leadership and teaching positions is really just letting folks understand, like, here's the line. This is where it's drawn. And if you go over this line, this is what will happen. And when people know their rights, they're not as likely to push that envelope on those. And then we do request and require that the student signs off on this as well as the parent or guardian.
Okay, well, just to let you know that, is this going to be printed up and handed out to, one per child, one per family or something like that at our school for the students?
Student handbooks will go out with one per family, and then the acknowledgement form will be signed for each individual student attending.
Okay, great, because I can tell you honestly that no student handbook has gone out to any household, any student since prior to COVID from our school.
They will receive the student handbook at registration, and students who did not receive one, we're gonna, like my big thing is the first 2 weeks of school, we have to have that signed, and I'll create a matrix of every student and ensure that parents have signed those. If people aren't responding, I'll find them, and we want to make sure we have those on file.
Yes, we appreciate that. Thank you for that. Yes, because we did need this, like I said, since 2019 or whatever, but from then on, we haven't had one.
Sure.
Thank you. All right, so after all that is said and done, this is also a draft because there's some changes that need to be made. Like he said, removing some items that we no longer will use, like packs and all. So I would need a motion and a second from the board to go ahead and accept this student parent handbook pending any changes prior to school starting.
I make a motion to approve the parent handbook.
Okay, and so David Toledo made a motion to approve the parent-student handbook and pending any changes prior to school starting. Do we have a second?
This is Patrick. I approve.
Okay, Patrick approves. We'll go ahead and take a roll call. LaDonna, do you approve? I think she's there. LaDonna, are you there? Come back to her. David, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
Yes, this is Margie. I approve. Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
Yes. And LaDonna, is she still there? Can anybody tell who's on the chat?
She's on there, but I don't hear her.
Okay. So since we have a majority, can we go ahead and go on, or does it have to be unanimously?
Yeah, because you have to have 4 to have quorum, so you have to have that
Well,
fourth
that's
person have
right.
the vote.
Forgot. Okay, so we always used to have 3. Okay. All right, so,
You want to
well-
call her real quick or text her and just tell her to jump on and say approve?
okay. Let me just check and see if I can get in touch with her really quick. Hold on 1 second. She might could hear us and we can't hear her, but let me check. Hold on.
Tell her we only need her for 2 more approvals. This one and the closing of the meeting.
Okay. I called and it went to voicemail, and then so I sent her a text. So, should we wait and then move forward and revisit that before the end of the meeting?
Yeah, we can table that and go to the principal's report and then kind of circle back to approve on that. Angie, does that sound okay? I think we can do that. Yeah. We'll
Okay,
circle
Sorry, I
back.
couldn't find my unmute. Yes, you can do that.
All right, we'll come back
circle
to that.
back and get her approval. Yes. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the principal's report, and it was sent to us today, Google Docs, about what was going on, and if and I'll let Joanne go ahead and talk about his report.
Sure, some of these things I'll fly through, others I'll spend a little bit more time, but I think it's going to be fairly quick. To keep you up to date here, the NMPED CSD visit was June 23rd. The visit went very well. We met 100% of all the conditions that were presented in the springtime. Charter School Division is going to be recommending to the Public Education Commission that we move into this next school year with no conditions placed on the school. However, because our academic and language data was not very good, I am expecting that they're going to hold us to some academic conditions, which is totally fine and totally to be expected. But I just wanted to make sure that you all are aware of that because our data was not very well. And I'd like to, in August, I think I would like to spend a little bit more time as opposed to giving every little bit of detail in the principal's report. I'd like to show you some of the data in detail.
That would be great.
So let's see here. So the PEC meeting is going to be July 18th. That's next Friday. I will be in attendance because I'm going to have to defend our conditions, and I'm sure they're going to want to grill me, which is fine. I'm ready for them. But again, this is the meeting where CSD is going to be recommending that we move to the next school year with no conditions.
Okay, great. So you will be there in person in Santa Fe in their meeting?
I will.
And anybody who, from the board, who wants to attend can do that, can do so?
Yes, it's an open meeting. You're more
support?
than welcome to join. Yes,
Okay, great. And you can also join online also. They have a Zoom line for that if anybody wants to attend. Okay,
correct.
go ahead.
So, any questions on those two items? No? Okay, the next one I have is teacher in service. I have created a schedule already for teacher in service. I'm showing that right now. And again, if you have questions, you can let me know. We're going to be talking about everything from staff introductions to the new schedule to duty schedule, communication systems. We're going to be using Remind and Google Chat. We're hoping to get a Power School training in there. However, I heard that they might be doing away with Power School. So I got a little tidbit a couple weeks ago that said that Power School might be completely out. People aren't happy with it. So we're gonna wait to see. It might be a last minute thing. If not, then this could be the last year for Power School. Regardless, we need training. We're gonna be looking at curriculum selections because we're gonna have to revamp all of our curriculum going into this school year. And then I'm gonna let teachers work on classrooms. The next day, we're going to be doing staff icebreakers. We're going to have the HEMA Social Services coming in to give a presentation. We're going to be hopefully, and I didn't talk to Angie, I might have mentioned this to Greg. I'd really like if anybody needs training to learn how to do AptaFun. Again, if that's something you guys don't feel is beneficial, we won't need to look at that. But if we end up, and I know I talked to Greg about doing that add-on where staff can actually go in and request time themselves. I'll feed off you guys, Angie. Maybe we could have a discussion on it tomorrow and see how you guys feel about that. I want to talk about data-driven classroom, then giving teachers more time to work in their classrooms. And then we're going to be reviewing the staff handbook. We'll probably go over some of the student and parent handbook. Then I reached out to the oh my goodness, Indian Education Division, and I was able to secure Katie Ann and Elena, the Assistant Secretary and Deputy Director for the division, to come out and do cultural sensitivity training. So I'm really excited for them to come out to our school and do that for us. We're gonna have a potluck on that Wednesday at 12 o'clock, and I just want to make sure everybody here is invited. I didn't put this down just yet because I wanted to see if the board was okay. I would really love to have some representatives of the board come in during our potluck and just kind of do a open session of like, hey, we're the board. Here's what we do. Do you have any questions for us? I just feel like it's a nice thing to do. I've seen other schools do it, and it's nice to bring everybody together. Of course, we don't want to have a quorum. So if
All you have to do is post to your
Yeah,
the
like
website,
few
like
days,
your door and your
72 hours.
website, there could possibly be a quorum due to an event, but
no action will be taken.
no actions will
Right.
be taken and no discussion will be made on anything business related.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
and I would like all the board to attend if they could. That way we know what's going on at the school, because I would like to attend those things because I do feel the board's been left out of a lot of stuff. So that's my
Yeah, that's
opinion on
not
that.
That's not cool. We need you guys to be a part of our larger family and know who's working behind the scenes. And so I think this is a good opportunity for you to discuss things that you guys do, things that you would expect from the school, expect from me as the leader, right? And so yeah, I want to invite everybody, and what we'll do is, just as a precaution, we'll go ahead and post that to our website in the event that more than that 4 more members are able to attend. And then after the potluck, I was also able to secure Lucy Venezuela to come out and talk to our staff about the importance of data and culture. It's a school urgency, and I don't feel that our staff really kind of fully comprehends what we need to do these next 2 years in order to get prepared for the next reauthorization or the recharter. And I feel like listening to me every single day, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. Like, it's like, yeah, he says the same thing every time. Yeah, he says, and I think it's especially important now because we've had inconsistency with leaders through the last few years. And I would like for somebody from the state, specifically from Charter School Division, to really come in and talk to all of our staff about that urgency that we're gonna need. So that's why I was able to secure that for us. Then we're going to talk about our before and after school program that we're going to be implementing this next school year. It'll probably be more of a after school, but there could be a potential for a before school if we get that interest. And then we're going to talk about our DPS and interactive notebook. That's part of my system. That's going to be how would I say, getting rid of the packs and implementing more of the things that I've kind of created and I know can be successful. And then what we're working on now, I know Greg and Angie have been working on this. I'm trying to get a retreat Thursday and Friday to get our teachers off campus. This just builds camaraderie, it builds trust, it builds relationships. And so we're gonna try. It says Buffalo Thunder here, but it might actually be a Sleda if we can pull this off. And again, on those days, we're going to be talking about curriculum maps and unit planning. We're going to be looking at special education, IEPs, observations, and law. We're going to be doing some calendar planning. I left another slot open there for something that maybe I just didn't cover, didn't have enough time. Then we're going to be doing a team building exercise. We're going to be doing an extreme scavenger hunt. More to come on that. And then on the last day, we'll conclude with talking about CLR, which is Cultural Linguistic Responsive Teaching, SEL, Social Emotional Learning, which will look at CASTLE and the Along program, which I've been a part of. And then the last part will be restorative process and self-care for employees. And we'll conclude and everybody will be able to go home on that day. So that's just kind of what I've got planned, and hopefully that I hope everything falls in place the way we need it. I'm going to go back
Okay,
to
that
the
sounds
agenda. Are
good.
there any questions on those items?
No, I just hope that you can get an off-campus, actual, like what would you call it, orientation for the upcoming school year, or retreat or professional development for these teachers, because honestly, they have not had anything like that for a long time.
Yeah, no, and I know Angie and Greg have reached out to ensure that some of our funds might be able to cover this. It's not terribly expensive. It's probably, if we did the estimate, Angie, what was it, like $4,000 or $5,000 for everything?
Something like that.
Somewhere's in there, and there's just I was really hoping for Buffalo Thunder, but they were really ridiculously expensive,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and I think Isleta was willing to help us out a little bit more. So
Right. We've
really,
had
like you
stuff out
said,
of Fleta before too, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, really, like you said, Margie, I think the biggest thing is just if we can get everybody off campus and away and building that, it's gonna help us through this next couple of years. Let's see here. We have the NOVA conference coming up July 23rd, the 24th, and 25th. So myself, Jensen, and our new administrative assistant will need to attend that, because that's going to be important to how we report and what we need to report and why we need to report it. So all three of us will need to be at that conference. So we may have to close the school tentatively for those 3 days. Let's see here. I'm still looking at the outdoor learning startup grant. David, I'll reach out to you maybe on Monday just to see if we can get a quick chat with the governor, Mr. Shindo, and see if they would be okay if I applied for this and put in for a barn, essentially, right? They could agree. They could agree to it. They could not agree to it. We could get the grant. We couldn't get the grant. But I just want to make sure that if we go that big, that they're okay with us putting something on that land.
Okay, let me know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll contact you. Like I said, I'm not too hard pressed because I have the skeleton of the one that was approved for the previous school I was with. All I have to do is take all that stuff over, transfer it. It's probably an hour's worth of work. That thing took me a couple weeks, but now it's turned into an hour's worth of work because all I got to do is change some things to fit our program, and our
Right.
program needs. Next thing here, just want to report summer reading program is officially over. It's concluded. It was a great success. We had a lot of turnout. We had almost 30 students. We were hoping for the 40, but we almost got 30. And we're just currently waiting to see if we can get our hands on some of the data that they received. So I got my ears open for that. Campus cleanup. We're going to be cleaning up around the campus starting July 14th. Obviously, nobody was there the last 2 weeks. I got a text message or two from some folks around the community. Both of them were our employees. And I get it. It sounded like maybe they were trying to look to pick up some extra hours, but that was the whole intent of closing those 2 weeks, which is to save on our operations and get away from there. So next week, Ed will be back with us. I'll be there. I'm looking to get a weed eater over the weekend and try to get out there and start maintaining our campus so that it's ready to go and looks nice and clean for when students start to arrive. Actually, before students arrive. Cafeteria tables. I'm gonna need some board members here to help me out.
Somebody needs to be put on mute. Thank you.
Was there a question? I just want to make sure nobody had any questions. All right, no worries. I was able to secure 10 newer cafeteria tables. They're all matching. One of the charter schools here in Albuquerque is giving away like 100 tables or something like that. And so I told them we only need 10. I think there's mostly 6-footers. There's a few 7 and 10 foot. They're waiting to give me the details and confirmation. I was one of the first ones that did make these requests, and they do need to be picked up in Albuquerque. So what I'm asking is, once we secure these, or if we secure these, do any of you guys know somebody from the Hemis, from the Pueblo, or anybody you're related to that might be able to load these 10 tables and take them to the school? The only reason I'm asking for support on this is my truck is out 3 hours away. And all I have is my commuter car. My family actually stayed back home in Roy, and they're not coming back until August.
That's okay. Dominic has that big pickup, and usually when we would ask him to go pick up things in town for us, we would pay him like mileage or something, like $30 something for gas money, and he would go get it for us. But I don't know if he's available or able to use his pickup, but anybody else who has a pickup, if they can help, that'll.
Or if somebody had a flatbed that we can put all these tables. I mean, 10's not a lot, but they're going to be pretty big.
No, let me ask. JP Romero, who came and got that supplies, that kids playground supplies. He works for Wagner. I'm going to ask him. He can get a flatbed.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, I wouldn't mind. It sounds like whenever they give me the details, like the way that they work is once they say, "Hey, it's tomorrow at 3:00," that's the day. And I have a feeling that they're gonna do it to where it's like, "Can you pick them up this afternoon at 3?" And I wouldn't be able to go and get my truck in time.
No, we're not. That's not a big deal. It's just that we have to give JP enough time to get the flatbed. That's all. Like I said, he works for Wagner on Osuna in Albuquerque. So.
Oh, perfect. So Margie, maybe me and you can just collaborate on that once they give me the details.
Right. Yeah, I'll call him first and ask him if he can still do that. Yeah. So.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Also,
and they're nice tables.
I have 2 pickup trucks myself, and I know guys that have trailers all day long. So.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, Patrick, thank you. We should ask you first. You're right there with us. Thank you for that. I was just trying to think, who could it be? Who has a flatbed? That's perfect. Yeah.
So Margie, and Patrick, I'll just communicate with you guys. Is that okay?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. If you want the secondary, Joe, then talk to the other guy, and if he can do it, cool. And if it's like, oh man, we got today, I'll make 2-3 trips just on the trucks right away, real quick, and we'll haul them.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'll let you know. I'm expecting them to call me maybe tomorrow, more than likely Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, because I also have office chairs, a podium, and all that in my office that they want to throw out, that have like trying to hide away so they don't throw them out. Because if we needed that for our school, I kept it to the side. Yeah. So.
Oh, a podium would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember I showed you when you were there that for that one meeting, that retreat meeting. I took you down the hall and I
Yeah.
told you where I hid that, and you said, yeah, we'll have to get somebody to bring it over. Well, they're chomping at the bit for us to clean out these office space for people returning to work. But
Okay.
I've got it locked in there. And if you need any office chairs, that are probably better than the ones that we might have too. So yeah.
Okay, I'll go look around and I'll get with Jensen on Monday to see if we need some office chairs in there. Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Thank you. Let's see
Okay.
here. So student recruitment, we still need to make those flyers. And we'd like to have an open house
Mhm.
registration in July, towards the end of July, and then obviously the first week of August. I'm thinking it would be nice to have an open house during one of those teacher in-service days. So I'll try to tweak some
Okay.
things around to where maybe teachers can stick around and help out. That's what other schools have done. And we can get kiddos registered, but we need to start possibly
Mhm.
if we can, we should probably start handing out flyers next week.
Okay,
So
well, I don't think the open house will work at our Pueblo. And it's like too much going on, like the feast day stuff, because July 25th is St. James feast day, July 26th is Santa Ana feast day, and parents aren't going to come to any of that kind of open house. They do participate in registration, like if you let them come in or tell them registration packets are available and they'll come in and fill them out or whatever. But the only time that they really participate in open house is like when we have it, like the last week in August or something, right after school starts.
So maybe Margie, maybe what we can do is get all these flyers done, and if anybody in the community can help pass them out during those
Right.
events,
Mm-hmm.
and then in August we'll do two opportunities. And when I say open house, it's really just registration and come in and say hello, ask questions, but really to get folks to come in and register.
Okay, that would be good. Yes.
So I'll look at the August dates. It'll probably be that first and second week of August. And then yeah, you'll probably hear from me next week sometime asking about how we should get those flyers and where we should get those printed off.
Well, like I said before, if we get them printed up right away, we can give them. We can check with David's sister, who runs that company, that can get them to every single mailbox in the whole valley. At
Okay.
the Zia mailboxes, the Jemez mailboxes, Ponderosa mailboxes, like that. It'll just be to your resident.
Okay.
Standard Riverside is accepting registration forms or applications for your student to go to school, register, blah, blah, or contact the school, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I
But
think
we can
Jensen might.
highlight a few things, yeah, that's going on in the school, like after school program, field trips, highlight some good things about it. Yeah. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Jensen
or,
was working on something. I'll get with him on Monday to see if we can finalize something.
okay. Yeah. And I'll call her and see what she says. Yeah.
Okay. Going to our vacant positions. So our K first grade educator, we're still interviewing. We should be finished interviewing next Tuesday, I think is the last person to interview. And we'll make sure that we hire for that. Our athletic director position part-time has been filled, and our middle school science educator part-time has been filled. And I'm happy to report that our new person for that is going to be Luis Alvarado. So he's going to be bringing a lot of experience and excitement to San Diego Riverside. He's super excited to start. Matter of fact, I told him not to show up until August, but he said he was going to show up starting next week a couple times because he wanted to go in and start cleaning out his closet. And I said, I'm not going to stop you. You want to come in, I'll help you. But he's just really excited and humbled to be with us this year. Let's see. Our administrative assistant, we are still interviewing. Tomorrow will be the last day of interviews for that. And we should have that person hired by tomorrow afternoon, hopefully trying to get started on Monday. So we want to make sure that we're following the law and abiding by anybody who's put in their application and their resume. So that's what we have. And
Can
then,
you tell me when the open, the open ad was for that, for the admin assistant? Like how long it ran? You said it was on the website, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah, all of these positions got posted to our website. Gosh, mid-June.
And they closed when?
They're open until they're filled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you look, and I know you can't see this, Margie, but just so for the board members, I have the website up, and if you scroll, oops, it's hard to see with this window here. Let me get this out of the way. So if you scroll to the top, it says home, calendar, parents, SDRC staff, sports, SDRC, art, contact, and then employment. And if you click on the employment tab, it shows those staff vacancies. And as of right now, we still have our kindergarten, first grade, and our administrative assistant there. Again, they're open until they're filled, but we're wanting to get that admin position filled so that they can start by Monday, because we've got a lot of stuff to do. We've got to hit the ground running, and that includes some of the training on site, because we want Jensen to be able to pass the baton on to that administrative assistant and give them all his wisdom. So and then again, trying to get ready for the following week for the Nova conference. So my expectation is that by tomorrow, because we didn't get too many applicants for that position, I think we have 4. I've already interviewed everyone, and tomorrow will be my last round.
Okay, so
But-
just in the future, when things get posted, we don't only post them on our website, because there's a lot of people in the community that don't have, a computer and all, or could get to the website. We make postings for applications, and even the tribal office does this. Is we have a posting at the tribal office, at the post office, and like on the door of the school. So that's how it gets around, so people know that we're hiring for certain positions, because like I said, not everybody goes to the computer, to the website to know that we're hiring for anything.
Okay, I'll note that for next year. Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. That's not something that I've been a part of previously.
Right, yeah, because in a small community like that, that we don't say, like, if you go tell, like, my cousin is like, go onto the website and put in an application for this or that. They won't do it. They can't do it. Yeah, they don't have a computer or Wi-Fi or whatever, they have their phone, things like that, but it's really hard to see on your phone sometimes. Yeah, so.
Okay, I'll make sure that if we have any future vacancies, we'll go that route as well. So let's see here. And then we need to decide if we're going to have a special meeting either Monday or Tuesday. We can have it at any time. I don't mind. I have another board meeting on Tuesday, but I can also ask somebody to run that. I don't think it'll be a very long, it's not going to be a very long meeting. We just need to pass a few bars and one approval for myself to be a signer for the bank, and to remove Valerie Shaw off of that. But they want, in order to get that completed, Greg and myself met with that individual yesterday morning, and they want board meeting minutes to reflect that the board did take a vote on this.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was still on there. I'm sorry about that. I had no idea. Yeah.
They also
no,
want Mr. Tony Archuleta to be removed from that list as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes. That's terrible. I'm so sorry about that.
So I just want to reach out. I know everybody's super busy, but would you guys be open to meeting on Monday? Maybe in the afternoon?
Yeah, can anybody do earlier than like 6 o'clock maybe? We just need a
I'm fine.
quorum.
I'm available.
I can be there.
Maybe like
Yeah, I was
a
just
quick
Patrick, I
lunch
should-
meeting?
We'll meet there.
We can do a lunch meeting.
I didn't know if maybe a quick lunch meeting might work for people, because if they work, they could just take a, 30-minute lunch.
Yeah, like 12 to 12:30, we should be able to get these knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only business that we'll have on there.
I might
Okay.
be at the Coach T Feast on Monday.
Oh yeah, July 14th is Coach T Feast Day. That's another one coming up.
But
I'm so sorry.
I will make myself available.
Are you sure, Patrick?
Yeah. No worries, man.
Okay, I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and tentatively schedule that for 12 o'clock on Monday. And what I'll do is at the conclusion of this meeting, I'll discuss with Angie and Greg to make sure the proposed agenda looks good, and then I'll send it to Jensen. Just a heads up, Jensen, I'll send it to you tonight so that we can post it tonight, and we'll get that
Yeah.
that agenda will be posted with a little bit over the 72-hour requirement.
Exactly. If you can post it tonight, and then just put that it's a closed meeting or to take care of board issues or something like that. So then
Closed
we don't,
session?
yes, closed session, right, yeah. Because it doesn't need to be an open meeting on the website or anything but
To vote on
that
the
would be
bars, you're
great.
gonna have to have it open, but we
Yeah.
could put a
Oh,
spot
okay.
on it
All right.
but we could put a spot on it for closed session if you need to discuss anything.
No, that's okay. I forgot about that we were doing finance stuff and it has to be open. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. Yeah. Just put it on this, like you said, draw it up tonight, post it tonight. Then by Monday, it's a little over 72 hours by noon on Monday. That would be great. Yes.
Cool. Awesome. And then I'll work on that. We'll get that out this evening, get that posted to the website. So just a heads up, Jensen, you're gonna probably get a text/email from me with that agenda to post. And again, just things down the road so that nobody's caught off guard with anything. We have set up, Jensen's got this going. New emails for all board members. They're through Gmail. The reason through this is so that you have easier access for everything that I'm posting, right? So instead of sending like every little email or hey, this is you can just go in and open the folder in Google and access all my reports. All business reports can be placed in there. And so we wanted to make sure that it was a little bit easier for the board to get to certain items. This is pretty standard with all of our other boards. That's why I have 1 million emails. Yeah, I just feel like it's a one-stop shop for you guys to be able to have everything accessible instead of having to go through and look for things or look through emails. You can just pull up the folders that I share with you and you have them all at your, whenever you need them. So I'll have Jensen send out emails on how to access these new Gmails on Monday. And then if there's any questions, we can troubleshoot whenever you have time. Again, looking at our board bylaws, we should be thinking about board elections and nominations, not just for the positions like chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, but you should also start thinking about committees. One thing we've slacked a little bit off on is having a finance committee meet. And we want to start getting more regular. That's going to be an expectation that the state wants to see. And it will also help with our board, our board regular meeting to go by a little bit quicker since, if we set aside 30 minutes or so for Greg and Angie to go through with that finance committee and review things and then present it into the board, then it just goes a little bit quicker. But regardless, the finance committee will need to start meeting more regularly.
And I would actually you could do it, whoever wants to be on that committee, there should only be 2 people. So there's no quorum and you can do it 30 minutes before the board meeting. I have one school that meets from 4 to 4:30 and then at for finance, and then at 5 it starts the finance committee, the board meeting. If if 2 people are available to meet, like 5:30 to 6 for the starting to do finance. And then we'll also need an audit committee. So 2 people from the board, usually it's the president and finance is usually on there, someone from finance, and then a community member and a parent volunteer.
Cool.
Okay, we'll start looking into that.
I would say we can do this sometime around August, September. That's pretty normal. And I've reached out to Teresa. I know we did a retreat, back in January, February. I think now we can kind of hit the reset button and do things according to what other schools do. And typically when we do these changes, we'll do a retreat in an August or a September, even as late as October if we have to. And you can decide on your board elections, nominations, and then also your committee folks that are going to be serving.
Right. That's what I was thinking about her recently. If there's a way that she could start helping us, hit the ground running, do everything correctly, be in compliance with everything as our mentor, or Diego's our mentor for the board. If he can get us straight and we can do things proper That would really help us out.
Sure, I'll reach out to her next week. I know they were in Spain for a little bit, visiting their daughter, but I'll reach out to her next week and see what they have in mind for their calendar.
Okay, that would be good.
And yeah, and then that kind of goes into that planning for the 25-26 board retreat. Again, August would be optimal. I'm thinking it's probably going to be more like September because I know they have a lot. And then for all the board members here, especially for you, Patrick, since you've done your first set of the new board member training, you don't have to do that now. And now it's 5 hours, right, Angie? It's no longer the
I thought
7.
it was, oh, I thought it was still 8, so I'm not sure.
I think
Well,
I think they changed it. I think it's only 5 hours.
oh, well, that's something we can
Yeah,
ask Missy too.
a brand new board member was like 10, and then the other board members were 8, but I think they changed it to a brand new board member 10, and the others are 5. I think you're
5.
right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did know new board members were more, but I don't know if I haven't heard that they changed it.
Yeah, so what we'll do is, everybody here is going to be intact. I would really encourage, and I'm not trying to put anybody under the bus, but our bylaws do state certain procedures for board members that aren't showing up regularly and consistently. I get it. I'm on a board myself too. You're donating your time is what you're doing, but we also have to make sure that these folks aren't just sitting there. It's something that the state has risen even with us at Solare Collegiate. But you might reach out, Margie, to some of those folks that haven't been showing up and just asking them what their intentions are. If they're not looking, or if they're too busy to give their time, and it happens, then this will be an opportunity for us to recruit. I think we should still probably bring at least one more board member in. That gives us a little bit of a cushion to play with. But at the same time, it would also give anybody an opportunity that feels like they need to step down, that flexibility to step down and not have to be kind of held accountable to, like, hey, if you step down, we're not going to meet quorum, or we're not going to be following by our bylaws, right? Like,
And
No,
it would be,
we've always known. I've talked to Angie about this too recently. Is we've always known if there's 3 absences, no show, no call in, no excuse, then we write a really nice letter. Thanks for your time, but you're no longer on the board. And we've had to
Sure.
do that several times in the past. So the
Okay.
board knows about that, and so I'm keeping track of that also. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And the only other thing, and Margie, maybe you want to text it to me when you get an opportunity, is I just would like to get this membership date of service and years with the title to Greg as soon as possible, so our auditors are happy. If you want to jump on the phone with me tomorrow and fill this in, or if you want to just fill it in yourself, let me know what's more convenient, and we'll get that done.
Okay.
Other than that, that concludes my my report.
That's great.
And-
Thank you.
and then Margie, sorry, Greg is going to be going to the school Monday, I believe, and he's going to bring with him Mr. Lovato's contract for you to sign.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, and you're
Okay,
on to your
that's
last
great.
item
On the
there,
next
which is
item, thank you for your principal's report. It's a lot. There's always a lot going on at the school, so thanks for keeping us informed during the board meeting. But please, if you could try to keep us informed prior to the board meetings too, that would be good. And also, just to the next item on the agenda is the announcements, and it shows that the next meeting is scheduled for August 14th, which is the second Thursday of the month, at 6 p.m. And I believe school would have already started by then, correct?
yeah,
So
that'll be
is that
the first
okay?
week.
Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if it is scheduled for August 14th at 6 p.m., everyone, and then the final item on the agenda is I need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting at 7:51 p.m. Anyone from the board can make that motion.
This is Patrick. I move to.
Go, Patrick. Patrick started first. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, sorry about that. I
Good
moved
to-
to adjourn.
Okay, Patrick just said he moves to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Hey, LaDonna, second the motion to move to adjourn. I have to go and do roll call. David, do you agree?
I agree.
Agree. This is Margie. I agree. Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yes. And LaDonna, do you agree?
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned at 7:51 p.m. And I'd like to thank you all for being here, and thank you, Jensen, for helping me get on this meeting by phone, and I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a good
you.
night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Dan.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Night.